This section heading is called Configuring Hadoop. So now what we're going to do within this section is we're going to take the master node out of operating in single node and instead configure it for multi-node. So now the way that we're going to do that is by editing some of Hadoop's configuration files. So the first thing that I'm having you do within the lab is actually just to list those files. So now the first file that we're going to edit is going to be Coresight XML. So now we're going to use Nano here, and what we're going to do with Nano is we're going to use these options so that we can place our cursor at a particular point within the file. So here we're going to specify to place the cursor at line 22, column 15, and then that's Coresight XML. So inside of here we're going to change the location of the name node. So we're going to specify it to reside on the master host. So we'll save and exit. The next file that we're going to edit is going to be Sight XML. So now we're going to place the cursor on line 21, column 12, and then that's Sight XML. So now we're just going to press enter, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a new property element. So this property element is basically going to define a whole list of things for us. And basically it's defining a whole list of sockets where they're all going to reside for the resource manager. So we're going to do that by specifying here. So we're going to say resource manager dot hostname, and we're going to specify all of those sockets to reside on the master node. So now once again save and exit. And now the last file here that we're going to use Nano with these funny options over here is going to be HDFS Sight XML. So now we're going to go on line 22, column 9, and then that's HDFS Sight XML. So we're just going to backspace over the 1, and now we're going to adjust it to a 2. So remember, the recommended value for a production cluster is 3 replicas. Now that we have 2 slave nodes, we're going to up it to 2. At some point, we would like to reach the recommended value. So now we're just going to do a Control X, Y to save, press enter. Alright, so now we only have one more file here to edit. So there is no masters file with this release. And the reason for that is because it has high availability capability. So we're just going to define where the slave nodes are going to reside. And once again, let's first view what's in that file. So we're going to cat slaves. We can see that's localhost. And then we're going to use the echo command once again to place 2 hosts within this file. So we're going to place them on separate lines. So that's why we are essentially starting a string and we're not completing the string until we add the next host on the next line. And then we're going to redirect that into the slaves file, and this will overwrite what's currently in there with these 2 nodes. So now we'll verify that it did in fact do that, and we can see that it did.